have clients that need to bring money to the table to close. I need to have a conversation with them about what it's going to take to sell their house, and that's a price adjustment. I get afraid of them thinking that they hired the wrong person.
We avoid having the difficult conversation because we don't want to confront the pain or the fear of people leaving us.
Give me the truth and I can handle it. But for the love of God, don't lie to me.
I mean, I can't even believe what we accomplished since I had that conversation. Hi there, I'm Drew Walker.
And I'm Heidi Joy.
Welcome to Get Over It, the podcast where two friends in luxury real estate talk through life, business, and everything in between and help each other get over stuff.
This is for anybody that wants a seat at the table where real conversations happen and laughter is mandatory.
So today we're going to talk about difficult conversations, not because we don't know what to say, but because we are afraid of how they'll go and where they'll lead us.
And honestly, how not having them can hurt more than actually having them.
Yeah, because avoiding the conversation doesn't make it go away.
I get to that point where I think that if I stall long enough, something will slide in there and I won't have to do it.
I mean, I don't ever necessarily think that something's going to slide in there and I'll never have to do it. I really don't know what I think. I feel like as though if I delay long enough, somehow it will get easier or something will come along and magically fix it somehow. So maybe, yeah, I do. I don't know.
Well,
We've all got our own version of it.
So the first thing that comes to my mind is price reductions, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, in our
I'm in
business,
this
yeah.
I'm in this market that has shifted. I'm also in a post-hurricane coastal market that is dramatically different than it once was.
Yeah.
I have clients that need to bring money to the table to close on the sell side, and I need to have a conversation with them about what it's going to take to sell their house, and that's a price adjustment. But I get so attached to their money. It's also what makes me good,
Yeah.
but it can also be an Achilles heel for me. And, I believe what they've said. I won't reduce my price. I can, I won't, I can, I won't, I can, I won't. So therefore I don't ask. And every day, another day goes by. We didn't get an offer. We didn't get a showing. And I know that I need to have this conversation. And what I mean by I'm hoping something slides in front of it is I'm hoping that, God throws a buyer up in there that says, hey, I want to buy it. Right. But even if they did show up, they wouldn't pay that number. And I can remember two instances last year where I had, quite honestly, two homes that were not priced in today's market, right?
Mm.
Like they were overpriced. And you you and I sat down and we talked about it.
Uh-huh.
And you coached me through to get comfortable, and you put framework around it so that
Yep.
I was able to go deliver. And then also we had the accountability that I had to tell you at the end of the day that I did what I said I was going to do. And not only not only was I able to say that I did what I said I was going to do, I got a $250,000 price reduction on one and I got 150 on the other, and got buyers for both properties and sold both of them.
Yeah.
And so my big lesson in that is, if you know that you need to have a business conversation, find somebody to talk it through with, because I felt so relieved. And I was actually doing them a disservice. Being attached to their outcome and not talking about it was doing them a disservice.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I mean, that is absolutely true. But I wonder, like, could I go a little deeper there?
I knew that you would.
Okay, so well, actually, you didn't because you don't know. Anyways, what do you think it's about? Do you think for you that avoidance is about that you think that that person, whether it's in that specific situation of a price adjustment or in presenting pricing or something like that, that they're going to blame you for the reality of the situation, that somehow it's your fault?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. They're going to think that I'm not doing a good job. They're going to think that they hired the wrong person.
Mhm.
There's the I didn't do it right that goes in my head, right? And I have my reality brain where I know that's not true. And then I have this thing that sits right here
Yeah.
that shuts me up because I'm afraid of thinking ill of me,
Yeah. Well,
right?
what happens if they think ill of you? What are you afraid of there?
I get afraid of them thinking that they hired the wrong person, right? And
Mm,
I don't want
fair.
that. Um,
That's fair. Like that they'll fire you and walk out the door, or
no,
that.
because I'll fix it. But
Okay, well, that's interesting because if you know that you'll fix it, then why would you make your life harder by taking longer to have the conversation?
so this is the part where I need to go to therapy.
But maybe that's what we're talking about here. Like, this is one of those things about being a human being
Mhm.
that I think defies logic. We know that telling the truth and simply having the conversation moves the needle faster. We know that.
Mhm.
That's easy to understand. But we still avoid doing that. We avoid having the difficult conversation because we don't want to confront the pain or the fear of people leaving us. And at least that's what it is for me.
Mhm.
Like I think about what goes on in my team, and I have a great relationship with the agents on my team. And my coach tells me we have zero problems with culture. No, we do not have any culture problems. Now, where maybe we do have some shortcomings is that people aren't producing at the level that they need to produce to create the income that they say that they want. And that's where then I have to deal with that. If I don't have this conversation with this team member and point out to them that you said you wanted X, but you're doing Y, and those two things don't add up. Yet for years, I've avoided those conversations.
Okay.
And I do think and I will just admit publicly, it is completely about the way that I have built an organization is entirely through having people like me. And that's one of my greater strengths, I think. And like it's not like I'm saying that about myself. It's like, we've done like all the personality tests and things like that. I'm built to win others over.
Yeah.
That's just how I'm
And
built.
it's important for you to be liked, right?
I
It's
mean, you don't
important
want
for
them to
you.
hate you.
Yeah.
And then I see people that are on the other side of that spectrum, which this might be a little bit of a rabbit hole. And there's many people that I know that I respect a lot who they believe that leadership and in conversations like that, whether it's with a client or a team member, that what's more important is being respected than
Mhm.
being liked.
Yep.
And I like that. I I see that. And I think that if all it's about is being respected, then there's something that's missing there.
Mhm. For you,
There's
right?
for me, there's
Right.
something that's missing there. It's very cold, it's very calculated, and I don't know. I've never been able to do that.
Yeah, and it's not about is your style right or somebody else's style right. It's what's preventing you from having these conversations that need to be had. And I can think of, in a totally different direction, I can think of a personal example. I had a friend, they were very unhealthy. They didn't take care of themselves. They were not doing what they needed to do. They were
Mm.
extremely, extremely overweight and they got sick, really sick. And it wasn't until they got sick that I had the difficult conversation that I was avoiding with them. And she said to me, I wish that you would have told me because I would have listened to you.
Ouch.
So now there's that responsibility piece that I feel that having the difficult conversation is not a thing anymore. Like it has to happen. Um, I have to work on delivery always
Mhm.
because I'm a very direct person, and sometimes it doesn't feel
Sometimes the German maybe comes out a little bit too hard. Yeah.
and I think that I'm so hyper aware of how direct I can be, and so I don't say what needs to be said.
Okay.
But I'm almost better off at, coming in as a bull in a china shop and having that directness be there and then bringing the mop with me to clean up the mess that I made. At least I was saying what needed to be said because
Yeah.
I will never, certainly personally like that, ever happen again.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really powerful. And uh, can you language what you learned there? Because you learned something there. There was a now a new behavior habit that you have around difficult conversations. And like I would describe it as that, like it must happen because if it doesn't happen, then X could happen.
Right.
So there's
So
like now an impact, but like,
I'm a big liar, liar, pants on fire. I can't. Like, give me the truth and I can handle it.
yeah.
We'll work through the truth, whatever it
Mhm.
is, but go for the love of God, don't lie to me, right? Like, do not lie to me. And I was doing exactly what I hated. I was doing lies of omission by not having those conversations. To me, that is a lie of omission. And I am doing what I cannot stand. And that's not okay.
Yeah. How do like that's so terrible when you find yourself in a place where you realize that you've been withholding something that could have been such an easy conversation and
What
could
are
have
not
made some.
easy, not necessarily easy. These
Yeah.
conversations are they're not easy. They're easy when they're over
Yeah.
because the relief, the freedom, the that you feel once you've had one. And it's not always getting the result that you want, but it's keeping your side of the street clean and doing what needs to be done, right? It's not about how they respond to it, how they react to it, and you don't get to take ownership of any of that. You have to be honest for you. And the honesty piece for me is saying what comes from here
I love that.
personally, right?
That's kind of a mic drop moment there. You might have to clip that. For me, it's not that the conversation in retrospect is easy, it's that I just saw like how simple it is. How simple it is. Like easy is not the same thing as
Mhm.
simple. Simple is okay, I understand that if I will just move through this one really challenging moment, that on the other side of that discomfort is what I want, is both relief and potentially a resolution of the situation and more of what I want.
Anything bubbling up for you that you can think of where you were not having a difficult conversation?
Oh, I mean, yeah, like early last year. So I spent the wide majority of 15, 16 years of marriage and relationship with my awesome husband. You know, that I'm the one, just because I'm kind of the nerd about it, that I'm the one that like does the budget. Except we never did a budget because my solution for money was always, well, I kind of know what my expenses are and there's always enough money. So I'll just go and earn more if I have a problem. Except then when market conditions change and all of a sudden revenue starts to contract, it's not quite so easy to solve the problem by going in and earning more income. So you probably you're I think you're smiling
I'm
because you probably
smiling
remember
because
what I'm about to say.
Mhm.
Um, so I think it was early on in our relationship and that
Yours and mine.
yeah,
Hmm.
in our relationship,
Yeah.
yours and mine, when I was like having a freak out. And by the way, Arlen, my husband, has always said, "Gosh, you know, every fourth and first quarter, you have a money freak out. That's just the way that it works because our business is cyclical, and that makes a lot of sense." But this spring last year, in particular, you know, I was going through a few things with one of the businesses that I own, and I think that put me in a place of real weakness. And so when the revenue
You
wasn't
were
coming in,
let's just be honest here.
I
Hold on, hold on, hold on. You were going through it from every financial angle that could touch you. Let's just
yeah,
yeah.
100%. Yeah, you know, I mean the California business revenue had constricted. The Florida
You
business,
don't have to
I
explain.
hadn't
I'm
even
just telling you
like
it
it was,
wasn't one thing.
yeah, it wasn't one thing. It was all the things, and I was like a crazy person. And I called you, and I was just like in a panic. And you just asked, "Well, does your husband know anything about this?" And I
We can laugh
realized
about it now. We
I
said that we
can.
would laugh.
That was it was not funny in the moment.
No.
It was not funny in the moment. No, it was a little bit of a dagger through my own heart because I saw that I had spent 16 years just avoiding like bringing him into financial conversations somehow to like in some weird way to spare him the stress of those conversations when all that did was make me feel like I was in the boat alone when I was never in the boat alone. I
No.
mean, the moment then I just sat down and had a very simple conversation like, hey, Arlen, here's the thing. this is not going the way that we needed to go. We have got to sit down and create a plan. He's like, I've been telling you I want to create a budget for forever and a day. Like, I love a budget. Like, let's figure out a way to cut expenses. I can't even make this up. Like, and then we were in the boat rowing in the same direction together. It was just like an instantaneous change. One conversation changed everything.
And how did you feel? Like literally post conversation, moments after you had it?
Elated.
Yeah.
I was completely elated right after that conversation. There was a lot of embarrassment. Like, wow, like why would I not have just done this sooner?
Why
Because
would you have not just trusted the person who loves you the most and
yeah,
you love the most? You feel ridiculous, right?
yeah, no, you feel ridiculous. And I think we do this all the time in the relationships that matter most to us. We withhold these little things that we don't need to.
Because we think that we're protecting them
Yeah.
when in reality, that's the opposite of what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. The withholding is actually causing more, it's like a poison that we're drinking,
Mhm.
which then ends up poisoning the relationship. I mean, I can't even believe what we accomplished since I had that conversation. I mean, we literally paid off all of our consumer debt, sold, multiple properties, got the ship right. We've got more margin in our life now than we ever had before. And to use your phrase, um,
Oh, no.
so what was the phrase that you used?
Well, let's just say at the beginning of the year, you kind of might have had your nuts in a vice,
Yeah.
and now they're not anymore, and you're kind of freeballing.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Free balling now. So, and I'm amazed when I think about that. I'm amazed to see that I think that the one thing that caused the most financial pressure in my life is just my unwillingness to confront the reality of the numbers
Mhm.
and to look at them for what they are. And then to bring the people that are with me in the boat with me and
Mhm.
say, okay, we got to figure out which direction we're rowing. Let's all row simultaneously.
Yeah.
And then like having somebody to talk to about that, realizing that no matter how accomplished you become in business, that you are going to make mistakes and that markets are cyclical. And anybody that tries to tell you that no, there you can never take a loss and there's only one way up and you've got to win every time. I mean, that's nonsense. That's not life. Life is about seasons, and I've accepted that. And now I'm taking all of that and being like, wow, that was a really great lesson. It's like I'm very well schooled now.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, there's the business aspect of that, and then there's the personal aspect of that. And my learning lesson was if I just would have had the courage to have that health conversation,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have had to suffer. I never thought in a million years that I would have been the one person that they would have listened to.
Mm.
That's not about me, right? Like that's about my fear. And to learn that, now I remember I may be the one person that somebody listens to.
Right.
And I am doing them a disservice by not having that difficult conversation. So big, and I still stop, like I still stop in my tracks and I'm like, I know I got to do this and I say, and that's why having somebody to talk these things through with first, kind of rehearse, is helpful for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I want to say thank you to you just publicly here in our recording. Like the the gift that it's been for me to be able to have really private conversations with you and practice the things that matter the most with you. It's made all the difference in my business and obviously in my life. So thank you.
You are very welcome.
Yeah.
And it is a two-way street, my friend.
Cool, cool. Well, if you have gotten something that is valuable or something that really moved you in this episode, would you please make sure that you click the subscribe button so that you won't miss our next conversation?
And if you know somebody that needs to hear this message or that you need to have a difficult conversation with, share it with them.
Yeah,
It will be maybe the catalyst to that conversation. And stay tuned for more.
yeah. See you next time.